Okay. Next, I am gonna talk to you guys about PvE as a tamer. If I was to give you guys good advice or honest advice, I would tell you guys to play Succession Tamer for PvE, even though this is an awakening guide. Just because Succession Tamer PvE, in my opinion, it is so chill and so much better compared to Awakening. And Succession Tamer for PvE, you basically press like six skills over and over, and it's super easy, super chill, and even though it's so much easier compared to Awakening, you do make more money per hour as well. So if you just want to go for that money per hour as a tamer, I would recommend just playing Succession Tamer PvE. However, this is an Awakening guide, so I will cover how to play Awakening Tamer for PvE. So let's say you are just starting out the game, you are gonna be super low in. You're gonna be super low gear, I mean. So I'm gonna cover how to do super low end PvE as a tamer first, and then I will cover how to do a real PvE combo. So let's say you just made your character, your season character, and you just got your first set of Naru gear. I haven't done low end PvE in like a very long time, so I can't give you guys areas where you would normally go, but it's just gonna be super low end. And so what you're gonna do, you're gonna kill them really fast, and what you're gonna do is you're just gonna do both jolt, cancel it with shift space into both jolt and to trample. And so you're just gonna do this over and over. And yep, that's gonna be the super low end PvE. Um, Basically for the super low end PvE, you want it to be, uh, you want your combo to have basically no cooldown because you're gonna go from pack to pack super fast. Just the only downside is that you do your stamina. You're doing both jolt because both jolt does use stamina, so just keep that in mind. A way for you to recover in stamina is you can also use flash in your combo to kind of like pause the amount of stamina that you're using per pack. But yeah, once you've gotten past that part of the game where you are just Naru gear and just grinding super low end spot, let's say you got your first set up to Vula gear, you can then go to places like I believe let's say I think Catfish. I haven't really done low end PvE in a while, so take this with a grain of salt. But I think you go to let's say you can go to like Catfish, or you can go to um, Helm's Post. And basically, what you are gonna do there is you can do flash first, bolt jolt, trample, and then if you have awakening skills at that point, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna have awakening skills just yet because you won't be level 56. Um, but if you, for some reason, if you have awakening skills and you go to those spots, you can then just do Beast Rampage. So I'll say it again. So flash, bolt jolt, trample, switch to awakening by doing leaf dropping, and then just do Beast Rampage. But yeah, that's basically gonna be your combos for like the super low end spot until you can get some gear and you can go to the higher end spots. Another thing before I actually go and talk about how to do a real PvE combo for Tamer is that let's say you just finished the season server, you have full Pantufla gear and but you're not gear enough to go grind let's say spots like the Elvia spots. What you can do is you can actually go to some of the Valencia spots, let's say like Soul for Mine or Gaha's Bandits or Desert Naga, and you can um, basically just get on your horse, and just go from pack to pack. And all you do is you just spam roaring on your horse, just click E on your horse, and you can go from pack to pack, and you can kill them pretty fast as well. It'll be a lot faster if you do that as a succession tamer, but it does work as a awakening tamer as well, where you can go from pack to pack, just pressing roaring, and it will just kill them. So yeah, that's another way for you to PV as a tamer. But yeah, after this, I'll talk about how to do a real PvE combo. Next, I'm gonna show you guys how to do um, a real PvE combo. Let's say you're at that part of the part of the game where you actually have to do real combos to kill the pack of mobs. So let's say you are going to places like um, like Starry's End, or places such as the Ilvia spots, or some spots in Odolita, or spots like underwater Sakuya. You can then use these combos, which these combos that I'm going to show you, which is I would consider a real PvE combo, unlike the super beginning PvE combo that I showed you guys. So to use this combo, the skills that you're going to use, it's going to be Howling for the mob aggro, just to aggro all the mobs, and then the first hit of Garuda for the DP debuff, into Flow Storm Strike for the T3 add-ons, into Leaves to get to the back of your opponent, into Jolt Stab to DP debuff again, into Breath Spike for additional damage, to Leaves, then Leaves Trap again to get to the back of your opponent again, because they're going to be facing the other way now. And then you want to do Garuda again into Flow Ascension, into Celestial Slam, into Beast Rampage, into Legendary Beast Dance Turtle, like that, and then into All Around Spinner. So let me try to do it show it to you guys in real time. So it's gonna look something like this. Yeah, it's gonna look something like that. But yeah, that's the combo you can use for some of the higher end spots of PvE once you actually have to do real combos for PvE as a tamer. Um, if you don't want to use howling to aggro the mobs, you can also use roaring to aggro the mobs, and then you can switch to swap to awakening by doing leaf trapping as well. Okay, next I'm gonna show you guys how to do another PvE combo that utilizes the pre-awakening a little bit more, just in case you do like your pre-awakening a lot and you want to use it more than what I showed in the other combo, which uses more of the awakening. So let me show it to you guys first, and then I will describe it. Okay, so basically what I did there was I aggro the mobs with roaring. So I aggro the mobs with roaring. Get to the back of them by doing leaves trapping. Transition back into pre-awakening using resonance. Get your 2D add-on with fearful trembling, and then you debuff them with flash. Debuff them more with tilt stab. Use breath spike for the additional damage. Get to the back of them again. Use Garuda and then flow ascension into celestial slam, into beast rampage, and to legendary beast dance echo turtle form, and then use all around spinner to finish them off. But yeah, that's the combo for PvE, using more of the pre-awakening. I'll show it to you guys one more time. And yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, now that we've gone over all of the different skills and some of the ways to do cancels for Tamer, I'm going to show you guys how to do PvP combos now. So when you play Tamer, there are different ways for you to combo, different styles. Some Tamers, if you meet them, you might notice that all they do is they use the awakening stuff to combo, and they don't use the pre-awakening stuff to combo at all, besides using it for the CCs. But I personally I like to use both the pre-awakening and the awakening when I do my combos, just because I think just from the style of it, it looks way cooler than just using your celestial bow staff. I think it's way cooler if you can actually put in some of the sword skill along with the celestial bow staff skill. But if your style you just like using the awakening skills and not using the pre-awakening skills, there is nothing wrong with just doing the awakening skills for your combo. just because the awakening skill or the awakening kit is actually a really strong kit, and just using it this nothing wrong with it at all. It's just a matter of style and a matter of what you like to do. Since for me, I like using the pre-awakening and awakening in my combos. That's giving me the style with the type of the type of comboing that I'm gonna show you guys how to do today. So the first combo that I'm gonna show you guys, it is gonna be a combo that you use if you have low AP. Basically, what I would consider low AP is if you are around 281 AP or lower, or if you are fighting an opponent that has pretty high DP. And you'll know to use this combo because when you hit them, you will notice that they take longer to kill, and so you will know to use this combo basically. Um, but yeah, this combo, it goes. I'm gonna show you guys the combo first, and then I will describe the combo and describe the reasoning for why I picked the skills that I picked for the combo. So it looks like this. So basically, this combo, um, what you're doing is you're basically setting yourself up with the pre-awakening stuff, setting yourself up for the awakening part, because that's where your big damage is gonna come from. Um, so what you have here first is that you are gonna do your CC, so which is gonna come from the grab. If you are having trouble getting the grab, you can either do a scratch to get that from stiff CC, or you can do a surging tide to try to get that knockback CC to make it easier for you to land your grab. Nope, he avoided the grab. Okay. But yeah, once you get that grab CC, the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna go into the flash skill. And basically what the flash skill does is gonna buff yourself and it is gonna debuff your enemy. For me, I have the add-ons for flash, which gives me accuracy rate plus 4%, attack speed plus 7%, and then if I go into Flash Pro Thrust, the skill by itself gives magic DP minus 15, and I also put the skill add-on ODP minus 15. So basically, you are gonna subtract magic DP, 30 magic DP from your enemy. I also have the all evasion rate minus 4% as well. And then after the Flash Pro Thrust, if you go into Sharpening, you're gonna go into Sharpening Claw. You're gonna notice that this skill gives you magic AP plus 10. So basically, what this skill is doing, or this set of skills that you're doing, you're basically just buffing yourself and debuffing your enemy, giving yourself 10 AP and subtracting 30 magic DP from the enemy that you're gonna be hitting. And then after that, you're gonna go into Jolt Stab. Jolt Stab gives all DP minus 10. And the nice thing about Jolt Stab is that because it is ODP and it is not magic DP, it does stack with the flash. So basically, what you do here is that you are gonna subtract 40 magic DP from your enemy. So from flash and the skill item on flash, along with Jolt Stab. And this basically makes so that your opponent basically you loses 40 magic DP, which will make them a lot squishier compared to if you don't debuff them at all. And after Flash, after Jolt Zap, you're gonna transition into Awakening, or you're gonna do your second CC, which is gonna be Intimidation. Intimidation is a float CC, and after using Intimidation, it transitions you into Awakening. After that, you're gonna go into Celestial Slam, this skill right here. And what you want from Celestial Slam is that you just want it for the damage. And then after Celestial Slam, you go right into Beast Rampage. And the nice thing about using Beast Rampage after Celestial Slam is that it does give you a 15% accuracy. So it's gonna make it so that Beast Rampage hits a lot harder than it already does. And most of your damage, you're gonna notice that it comes towards the end of the combo, which is gonna be Celestial Slam, Beast Rampage. That's gonna be where most of your damage is gonna be coming from. And after using this combo, you should be able to kill most people that you fight. Depending on how tanky you are, or how tanky they are, or how much AP and accuracy that you have. So I'm gonna show you guys the combo once more slowly, so you guys can see it again. So it goes E, SOMB, Jolt Stab, Intimidation, Shift F, SOMB. And that's what the combo looks like. And then yeah, that's the combo that you want to use if you have 281 AP or lower, or if your opponent has higher DP. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how to do the high AP combo. And what I would consider being high AP is being at least 305 AP with one accuracy accessory. Not 305 AP with just full 4 AP accessories. So Once you reach 305 AP with at least one accuracy accessory, you can try to attempt these combos. Um, and I'm going to show you guys multiple versions of the high AP combo, just because the high AP combos are actually really easy combos. They're basically 3 skills, 4 skill combo, and it's super easy to pick up and it's super easy to learn. Um, so the first combo that I'm going to show you guys. It is going to be a combo that you use for trading damage, so trading super armor damage with other classes. Um, Make sure you guys have the core beast rampage to make full use of this combo, because you're gonna need that for guard to keep you protected throughout the whole combo. Um, Another thing to know about doing super armor damage training as a tamer is that you do play tamer, and tamer is one of those classes where she is super squishy. So most of the time when you do damage trade, you will not come out on top. But if you're confident in your ability and confident in your AP, and confident in your gear, you can definitely use this combo to trade damage. It will You could end up surprising yourself to see how much damage you can do just from using 3 simple skills. It's gonna go like this. So what I did there, you might notice I stayed in Awakening the whole time, just because sadly as a tamer, your pre-Awakening kit, you cannot damage trade at all in your pre-Awakening kit. You simply don't have enough damage in the pre-Awakening, enough protected damage in the pre-Awakening to do damage trading. So that's why I have to stay in Awakening the whole time. But basically what I did there was I did Moonlight Strike into full Flow Moon, and then I did a Beast Rampage, finishing it with Intimidation at the end. So it's going to look like this: WF, LMB, SLMB. Keep holding until you get Intimidation. And it's important for you to get that Intimidation float at the end, just because if you couldn't kill them with Beast Rampage damage alone, then you can get Intimidation for that float to get your second CC, and then you can once you get that second CC, you can try to finish them off using a skill like Flow Soaring Strike, or you can try to get them with a skill like um, the new skill Echo Pierce, not Echo Pierce, Legendary Beast Dance Echo, to try to get that last tick of damage or last bit of damage to try to secure that kill. But yeah, that's the one version of the high AP combo. Okay, this next I'm going to show you guys the second version of the high AP combo. To get this to use this combo, you do have to get a CC first. So it doesn't really matter what kind of CC you use to catch the enemy with. You can get it with like a scratch or maybe a fifth or trembling. Um, just make sure you don't use intimidation to get the CC, because you will need intimidation to do the second CC part of this combo. Um, but yeah, there are different ways for you to CC your opponents, and doesn't matter too much what kind of CC you use to catch them with. And then in this demonstration, I'm gonna use the grab just so that it's a lot simpler. So I go with the grab into Jolt Stab, into Intimidation, into Beast Rampage. And basically what I did there was that I just got the grab for the CC. I did Jolt Stab for the DP minus 10, and also for the damage that Jolt Stab has. It does have a decent amount of damage considering that it's a pre-awakened skill. And then I go transition into Awakening with Intimidation, also for that second CC. And then I finished it with Beast Rampage, which is the big damaging skill. So I'll show it to you guys one more time. Grab, Jolt Stab, Intimidation, SOMB. But yeah, that's the second version of the high AP combo. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how to do the third version of the high AP combo. Like the second version, you do have to get a CC first, and it doesn't matter too much what skill you use to get that CC. Just make sure that it's not intimidation, just because you do need intimidation to do to be a part of your combo. So I'm gonna demonstrate it with the grab, and it's gonna look like this. And basically what I did there was I just did my grab into Intimidation, into Celestial Slam, into Beast Rampage. Something that you might have noticed about this high AP combo is that you rely heavily on just the beast damage, I mean the Beast Rampage damage, to carry you through the part where you have to kill your opponent. So basically, once you have enough AP, you can basically just rely heavily on Beast Rampage damage, and it will get you really far. So I will show you guys the combo one more time. So E, Intimidation, Shift F, S, L, and B. And yeah, that's a third version of the high AP combo. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how to do a large scale combo. The purpose of a large scale combo or a node work combo is to try to kill your opponent as quickly as possible while also staying as protected as possible. And because of that, you can either use the combo that I am about to show you, or you can use just the high AP combo. Because the high AP combos, they do kill your opponent really fast. Um, Even though they're not fully protected, because they kill your opponent so fast, you can get away with a lot of stuff just using the high AP combo. Another thing that you should know before going on is that if you want to use Tamer on large scale or Node Wars, you do need a lot of AP. If you don't have a lot of AP as a Tamer and you try to bring her to your Node War or to large scale, you will not have a fun time just because uh, you're gonna die too fast and you can't kill your opponent fast enough. So yeah. I know there are some tamers who are just godly tamers and they are gamers and they can make low AP tamer work and large scale. But for me, I need a lot of AP to make tamer work in large scale, and a lot of tamers they need a lot of AP to make tamer work in large scale. That is just the nature of the class. But yeah, the combo is gonna look something like this. So what I did there, you might have noticed the whole thing was protected um, with the super armor, with four guards and with iframes. So I'm gonna kind of try to do it slowly so you guys can see. So basically, what you do is you do leaf dropping into intimidation, um, and then right after that you do legendary beast power to cancel the animation of intimidation. Go right into moonlight strike, into flow full moon, into flow soaring strike, into beast rampage for that second CC and for that for guard damage. Okay, and then let me describe it to you with the keys. So shift D, and right after doing shift D, you have to do S L B to get intimidation. So shift D, S L B. Whoops, I didn't do it fast enough. So shift D, S L B, and right there that was intimidation. Shift space, and then right after pressing shift space, you gotta press WF really fast as well. So like that, and then you do LB to do flow full moon. So flow full moon, and then you have to use flow swing strike from your hotbar. So I click 4, and then you do SOMB for beast rampage. Yeah, if I'm gonna do it really fast one more time, to show you guys. And yeah, that's one of the ways you can do a large scale combo. Okay, one more thing before I move on to um, the next combo is that I forgot to mention that because Tamer, most of her damage comes from Beast Rampage using the core of Beast Rampage. It is 4 guard skill, so you do have to position yourself really good. Otherwise, you are gonna get hit. And what I mean by that, let's say you're gonna hit your opponent, right? And your opponents get CC. And then if you look at the minimap, you might notice that enemies are gonna come from, let's say, the back view. So you can't just keep using Beast Rampage like this, because you are gonna get hit from the back and you are gonna get CC'd. And you have to reposition yourself so transfer to the back of your opponent so that you are facing the opponents that are gonna be coming towards you. And then that's when you use your 4 guard skill so that the 4 guard will actually protect you to the front. That's just something that to keep in mind if you want to use Tamer alert skill. Positioning yourself is really important, just so that you can always get that 4 guard and stay protected. Also, another thing to know is that your 4 guard is super squishy, and it's gonna break really fast. So if somebody just throws like a meteor at you, your 4 guard will break and just one meteor. Or if a Musa runs and hits you, your 4 guard will break and one Musa hit. So just keep that in mind as well. Um, so that is just the nature of the class. You have a really squishy 4 guard. Okay. Um, I'm going to show you guys how to do a 3CC combo next. The purpose of this 3CC combo is so that you can use it whenever you meet those super high end geared DP people or the DP main people. This combo most likely you will never or you almost never use it as a tamer just because there are not enough tanky people that you will meet for you to get an opportunity to use this combo. But it's good to just know this combo at the back of your head to practice it every once in a while, just in case you ever meet those super tanky people. You will be able to do this combo, and there's a very high chance that from this combo you can actually kill them. This combo is a 3cc combo, and it doesn't rely on down smash to do a CC reset because down smashes are RNG, and I don't really want to give you guys an RNG combo because it's not guaranteed CC. So um, this combo, it's gonna go something like this. It's gonna utilize a grab, a stiff, and a knockdown. So it's going to be like this. Whoops, I forgot to get my buff for my Legendary Beast and Cycle skill. Okay, let me try one more time. Yeah, I forgot to mention, before you start this combo, make sure you have the skill Legendary Beast Dance Echo. Make sure you get the Tiger form of it, just because you're gonna need that in this combo. So let me try to do it one more time. Yeah, that's what the combo looks like. You might notice that the combo, it looks very similar to the low AP combo. Just I added in a little bit extra stuff to get that 3cc in the combo. Let me see if I can try to describe it to you um, while I do it in slow motion. It's gonna be kind of hard just because I do have to kind of focus when I do this combo. But let me see if I can kind of describe it to you. So basically, what you can do is you're gonna try to get that grab, then you do flash for the debuff and the buff. You do jolt stab for one more DP debuff. Then after doing jolt stab, you go into um, echo pierce. You go into echo pierce by pressing LB and RB after the jolt stab. Come on, jolt stab. Okay, so jolt stab, LB, RB. You go into echo pierce, and then you want to cancel the animation echo pierce early, so you go into legendary beast power by pressing shift space, and then you want to cancel legendary beast power early by so that you can get to the next skill by pressing the skill flow soaring strike like that, and then after that you want to go into your CC third CC skill, which is going to be the legendary beast dance echo tiger, and then after that you go into celestial slam, and then you go into beast rampage. Okay, let me see if I can give you guys the combo, but by telling you guys the keys to press. Let's try it. So E, S, L, and B, tilt stab, L and B, R and B, shift space, um, source range strike, uh, and then after that, shift Q, shift F, S, L, and B. But yeah, for the keys, for the skills that I didn't give you guys keys to press, those are skills that I have to put on the hotbar, such as intimidation and such as flow range strike. Yeah, I'll show you guys the skill, the combo one more time, and do it really fast so you guys can get an understanding of what it should look like. Okay, um, I'm gonna show you guys the second version of the the 3cc combo. This one, before you start this combo, make sure that you are in Legendary Beast Dance Dragon, just because you are gonna need the dragon form when you do Legendary Beast Dance Echo. So the combo is pretty similar to the first version that I showed you guys, but it just requires a little bit less skills in the actual combo itself, so it's a little bit more simple, but not that much more simple though, just a little bit more. Okay, so I did mess up a little bit there. As you notice, I did do a ping instead of pressing my number one key, but ignore that. So the combo, it goes. I'm gonna describe it to you guys. So you get the first CC with the grab, then you do S O M B, jolt stab, LMB, RMB, shift Q, intimidation, shift F, S O M B. So that's the second version of the 3CC combo. I'll show it to you guys one more time in real time, or how I would do it at normal speed, just so you guys can see it one more time. Um, so the reason why before I stop talking about this, the reason I don't use the other versions of the new skills, why I use the dragon form or the dragon version, is because the dragon version is the one that comes out the fastest. If I use, like, let's say turtle, or if I use, let's say, um like tiger, or if I use the other versions, the animation is a little bit more slow. So because the second CC is a stiff CC, sometimes, um, depending on how fast you type, or how fast you input in the keys, the enemy might stop getting CC by the time the skill does come out. So to make it more reliable, I use the dragon one, just because the dragon one is the one that comes out the fastest. But yeah, that's gonna be the three CC combos. It's a combo that honestly you might never get to use, just because depending on who you fight, you might not meet anybody that is tanky enough for you to utilize this combo. But it is a good combo to know at the back of your head, just for those rare instances where you do meet somebody that is super tanky. You can pull out this combo, and you can most likely kill them with this combo. Um, I was testing this combo out, and when I put away all of my accessories, and when I was 189 AP, I tried this combo out on somebody that was around 361 DP, and I think I brought them down to around 20% HP. So this combo does hit really hard. But yeah, that's just, a combo that you can use when you are fighting somebody that has a lot of DP and you don't have enough AP to kill them. Okay, one more thing before I stop talking about combos. You might have noticed that I didn't show you guys how to do a CC reset combo. Tamer does have a lot of down smashes, and if you are new to BDO, down smashes do allow you to do CC resets. But I am not a fan of RNG, because down smashes, they are not guaranteed CCs. They are RNG CC. I believe, I don't know, it's like a 35% chance, or something like that. I'm not quite sure of the number, but it is a chance for you to land a down smash CC. And if you do, I believe you do land like, three down smashes in a row, or two down smashes in a row, you will then a CC reset the enemy, and then you can do another CC. But because it's RNG, and I am not a fan of RNG when it comes to combat, I do not practice down smash combos, and I will not be showing you guys how to do down smash combos in this guide, because it's RNG, and I prefer to have guaranteed combos or guaranteed CCs whenever I am in combat. Okay, now that I've basically given you guys almost everything that Tamer has to offer, giving you like a little of everything that is in the Tamer kit, I'm gonna now show you guys a couple of clips that demonstrates me using these things that I've been showing you guys in a real world situation, so that you guys can get an understanding of how, if you are in these situations, how what you've been watching, or how what you've been learning can actually be applied and be used. And hopefully that it will help you see how Tamer is actually played, and not just be in battle arena the whole time. After watching these clips, I'll then go into different strategies on how to make Tamer work. For example, how to play Tamer in 1v1 situations, or how to play Tamer in large scale situations. Okay, so this clip right here is gonna demonstrate how I was able to use that high AP combo that I showed you guys in a real world situation. Basically, what I did was I was able to get a stiff CC, and then get a favorable trembling CC, and then after that I just went into intimidation, celestial slam, and then did beast rampage, and it was able to kill this orc here. Okay, so in this clip here, it demonstrates a little bit about how to use the Tamer Ultimate in a real world situation, such as Node Wars or such as CVGs. So basically what I do here is that I see there's an enemy ball in front of me. I know that my 100% is up, and I know that my Absorb Healing is up. So what I do is I basically absorb my healing to give myself that buff, AP buff, and the crit buff, and then I do a Celestial Slam to give me the XP buff, accuracy buff, and then I go towards the enemy ball, and I basically just ulti, and I do manage to get like 4 or 5 kills there. So this kind of demonstrates a little bit about how to use the Tamer ultimate in a real world situation. Okay, in this clip here, it is a little bit old, so I will be using the old true client, but it still basically applies even to the new Tamer. So what happened here is that I jumped down from this cliff here in RBF, and I basically got hit right away by a ninja, and I almost got killed. But I was able to cycle a lot of my super armor and stay fully protected, so you couldn't see me. And then I was able to cycle iframes as well to dodge some of that damage, and finally managed to get a turnaround by grabbing him and then quickly killing him. So basically in this clip here, it's kind of demonstrating what I was talking about skill cancellation earlier. In this clip here, I am fighting a DK, and I'm throwing super armor around to try to stay alive and not get CC. And then when I see the opportunity to, I cancel my legendary beast power with the grab, and I was able to grab the DK and then turn it around. Okay, in this next clip here, it's gonna demonstrate what I was talking about when I was saying that if you try to SA trade most of the time as a tamer, you will end up losing that trade. In this clip here, I'm just basically trying to demonstrate a Musa, and it doesn't work out because I can't get that CC. Okay, in this clip here, it demonstrates a lot of stuff about Tamer, but what I really want to focus on is that surging tide TC at the end. Like I was saying earlier in the guide, it's that the surging tide TC will actually chase down the target, and I wasn't really able to demonstrate it against the dummies in Battle Arena, but in here, I am fighting balance, and in the neutral game, we were just kind of trying to trade that and trade super armor and try to get a catch. As you can see, I'm kind of getting myself beat up, but at the end there, I managed to do a surging tide TC, and the surgeon tide itself actually missed balance, but the follow-up CC from the dog Heilang, the C chased down balance, and it actually managed to CC balance, and I was able to kind of do a follow-up, but then balance's dog also CC'd me, so he got the turnaround, and then he managed to kill me. Okay, next I'm gonna talk about how to 1v1 as a tamer. As a tamer, you are actually super good at 1v1, so you're really good at dueling. This is where you shine the most. So I'm gonna go over different kind of strategies that go through my head whenever I duel a person. So there are three main strategy that I take into consideration when I am dueling a person. The first thing is I can consider playing offensively, and then I can consider playing defensively, or I can consider playing reactively. I'm going to talk about playing offensively first. So, when you are playing offensively as a tamer, what you're basically trying to do is you're basically trying to constantly pressure your opponent and cause them to deplete their resources, such as their stamina, by just constantly throwing yourself at them, throwing CCs, and just throwing super armor damage, trying to make them feel that pressure so that they make a mistake and you can follow up and punish them for it. This strategy is really good against classes without grabs. For example, Lan or Dark Knights or Musas and Meiwas. This strategy works really well against them. Also works pretty good against slow classes like Guardians and sometimes maybe Mystic and Striker as well. But those classes, they can also counter you, so just be careful when you play offensively. Okay, so I was gonna show you guys a bunch of clips of me dueling different people, to kind of showcase the different ways to play Tamer, like in 1v1s. But turns out that none of my recordings actually recorded, so I had to scrap something together, and I dueled my guildmates quickly. And hopefully, in this quick sets of duels, I was able to demonstrate how to play different Tamers in different ways. In this clip here, it showcases how I play Tamer aggressively. So what I do is I go in with the Cloud Ride right into Moonlight Strike for the stiff, because I do have the core Moonlight Strike core. So I get that stiff, and then I go in for my combo, but my combo is a little scuffed here, so I end up not being able to kill my opponent. In this clip here, it is basically the same thing as the last clip, but this time it is successful. So I do the same thing. I play aggressively with the Cloud Ride right into Moonlight Strike to try to get that stiff. The stiff missed, but I also got the grab right after the stiff, and the grab went, and I was able to do my combo, and this time I did make the combo correctly, and I was able to kill my opponent. In this clip here, I engage with my dog to get that dog to see pressure at first. Then I try to close the gap as soon as I can, right into Moonlight Strike, and then I throw super armor damage and super armor CCs around. And then I managed to get a scratch CC, but then I goofed by doing a Surging Tide, which does a knockback, which basically wasted 1.7 of my CC counters. And then my Heilang did a stiff CC, which basically made it so that the enemy is now at over the 2 CC point, so I can't CC him anymore. And I try to just try to do back attack damage, but I can't do enough damage, and so I just disengage to reset the battle. And after resetting, I basically am trying to kind of wait for my cooldowns a little bit, and then once my cooldowns are back up, I do a cloud ride into the back of my opponent. Then I do Garuda to try to get that float CC since I'm at the back of him and he's doing a forward guard, and I was able to then follow up and get the kill. Okay, hopefully those three clips were able to kind of show you guys how I play aggressively as a tamer. Just to kind of summarize, basically to play aggressively as a tamer, you just want to always be at your opponent's feet. Try to make them feel that pressure coming from you and coming from your dog. Just be right at them, throw damage, throw CC. Just but make sure you stay protected. And then just make them burn their resources. It's really good because you're a tamer and you can get CCs from two directions, one from the front and one usually from the side or the back. If you can control your healing properly, which you can apply a lot of pressure on your opponent. So yeah, that's kind of how I play tamer. I engage a lot with Cloud Ride because Cloud Ride is fully protected now. So I use Cloud Ride into Moonlight Strike to try to get those stiff CCs. Then if I don't, I can try to like do a grab or do a scratch. And then I basically just apply a lot and a lot of pressure, making my enemy move. And I try to stick to them as close as I can, and just try to make them feel that they can't take a breather. Um, Something to know about playing super aggressively like this is that if your opponent does a lot of damage, let's say you're fighting like a Musa or Meiwa, sometimes those classes do so much damage that if you stay really close to them, you will get burned down. So it's important that you do not miss your grab when you play super aggressively like this. Otherwise, you will get punished and you will die. So that's something to keep in mind when you play super aggressively as a tamer. But yeah, that's how you play aggressively as a tamer. You can use it against classes without grabs because you can make them feel that need to always run away from you so that they use up their resources. And if you can land your grab successfully without missing, it is a really good style of playing tamer. Okay, next I'm gonna talk a little bit about how to play defensively as a tamer. This strategy as a tamer, with this play style as a tamer, is usually seen more in newer tamers, just because this play style of tamer is a lot easier to play compared to the aggressive play style. But in no ways is this a bad way to play tamer, because I also used to play like this when I was newer to tamer, and it is a viable way to play tamer. So basically, the defensive style of playing tamer is that you rely a lot on your pets, and you wait for somebody to walk into your pet CC, and then you can follow up on your pet. And this style is really good. Is really good against certain type of classes. For example, let's say you are fighting ninjas and kunos. A lot of times, what you can do is you can just throw around your pet CC and then hope that one of them just walk into it and they get CC'd. Because ninjas and kunos, they do move around really fast and they do move around kind of randomly sometimes, so it is kind of hard to see. So just hoping that they kind of walk into your pet CC is a way that a lot of tamers play against those type of classes. You can also play defensively when you are low on HP, or when you need to back off, and if you are getting pressured too much. Knowing how to play defensively is really important, because I also play defensively sometimes if I am getting pressured too much and I can't handle the pressure. For example, let's say I'm fighting a Musa or a Meiwa, and they just throw too much damage to me. I will actually, instead of playing offensively, I will actually play defensively and hope that they walk into my traps and hope that I can just catch them making a mistake to then follow up and get that CC. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a couple of clips of how you can play defensively as a tamer. Okay, in this clip here, it's gonna demonstrate a little bit about how I play tamer defensively. In this clip here, at first I'm actually playing offensively, but then I mess up along the way and I managed to lose most of my health in one hit. And after that, I transition from playing offensively to playing defensively. And what I do is I tree climb away, and then I turn around and do a surging tide for the forward guardian, also to trigger the healing CC. And then taking advantage of the healing CC, I basically use healing as a barrier between me and my opponent. And I just kite around healing and hope that my opponent would kind of just walk into the healing CC and get get CC by healing, but that didn't work out. So I investigate some more, and I basically cycle through some of the different healing CC skills to basically use healing as a barrier between me and my opponent while I wait for my resources to recover, like my stamina and my health. And after I feel more comfortable with my health regening, I then go back in and I try to do some more super armor training, but I and then end up losing more of my health, so I have to disengage even harder using Cloud Ride. And I after using Cloud Ride, I basically just try to then use some the void lightning for the range CC, and I use my forward guard to just kind of stay protected. But that didn't work, and my opponent actually came towards me, and then I noticed that my opponent wasn't protected, so I used the legendary beast dance to try to get that quick CC, and it was a big gamble, but it worked out in my favor, and I was able to then come out on top because of that. Okay, I'm gonna summarize how to play Tamer defensively real quick before we move on to the next topic. Basically, what you are trying to do, or what you want to do, is that you want to take full advantage of your pet CCs, and you want to use healing as a barrier between you and your opponent. So basically, you want to position yourself in such a way that you are behind healing, healing is in the middle, and your opponent is to the front of you. And then whenever you use a pet CC, your opponent has to walk through your healing to get to you, and it's gonna make them more hesitant to kind of come towards you because they're gonna get CC by the pet. And if they do come towards you, make sure you know your different super armor rotation and different iframe rotation so that you can disengage. If you do need to disengage, so that you can then kind of just reposition yourself again so that healing is in the middle of you, and you are basically being protected by healing by standing behind him. And that's kind of basically how you play defensively as a tamer. Just waiting patiently, hoping your opponent messes up, or hoping that your resources be covered, like your health or your stamina, so that you can then play aggressively again. Okay, next I'm going to talk about the third way of playing Tamer, which is playing reactively. Playing reactively is not the same as playing defensively, even though it can be seen like that because you do play less aggressive, but the difference between playing reactively and defensively is that you don't rely on healing as much. When you play defensively, you rely on healing to create that barrier or create that zoning between you and your opponent, and you kind of kite away and kite around healing to just make sure that your opponent doesn't reach you, and kind of just wait for them to kind of walk into the CC and make them mess up. But when you play reactively, what you are doing is you are playing a little bit less aggressive, but you also are watching your opponent really carefully, and you wait for them to make some kind of a mistake, and then you quickly counter that by doing a quick CC or by going for a quick grab, and you basically are just playing super patiently, watching your opponent really, really carefully, and waiting for them to make a mistake. Playing reactively is how I usually make my comebacks. Whenever I'm low on HP, I watch my opponent carefully, and then I watch them to play aggressively towards me, and whenever they make a mistake, I then go in for that quick counter, and I catch them. Okay, this next clip here is going to demonstrate how I play in 1v1 situations, and how I play reactively to kind of turn the situation around in my favor. So in this clip here, I am fighting a DK. I'm just trying to super armor trade him, but as you can see, it's not working out. I'm low on HP, so what I do is I iframe, and I try to disengage. And I know that the DK is gonna chase me because people are greedy, and once they see that you are low, they're gonna basically just try to chase you to the end of the earth. So what I do is I put some forward guard up, and then I wait for the DK to come in, and then I iframe to the side, and then I know he's close enough where I can get the grab. So I do a grab, and I quickly burst him down and kill him. So basically what that clip just showed was how you play reactively. Just be patient, wait for your opponent to come in, and react quickly, and then go for that grab, and then um, you can then turn the tide around in your favor. Okay, this next clip here is gonna also demonstrate how you can play reactively as a tamer, or how to play a little bit more defensively as a tamer as well, to kind of turn the situation around. So in this clip here, my fort is getting bombed. So what I do is I try to go from the side to see if I can do any kind of flanking, hit anybody that's out of position. For some reason, this Nova sees me, and she just dashes me and she sees me. Um, Somehow I managed to get up for some reason, and so what I do is I kind of iframe and wait patiently for her. And I know that since I'm low on HP, they're gonna be super greedy and try to chase me. And so I just kind of wait patiently, and I know she's gonna chase me. And once she gets into my grab range, all I do is I just gotta wait for that iframe, wait for it to get close enough, and I grab her, and then I manage to turn the tide around and manage to come out on top. Okay, so to quickly summarize how to play reactively, playing reactively basically means that you're just playing patiently and reading your opponent. And when you see your opponent make a mistake, you just take advantage of that opportunity or that opening, and then you quickly counter the opponent. And it is a really good way for you to make a comeback when you are low in HP, as you can see in those two clips that I showed. I do make a comeback every time I was low in HP just because I played patiently and I read my opponent and waited for them to come close to me to make that mistake where I can get that grab CC. But yeah, that's how you play reactively. Okay, now that we've gone over how to play in 1v1 situations, I'm going to talk about how to play Tamer in large scale or in something that is like Node Wars or GVGs, sometimes maybe even RBF, depending on how many people are in RBF. So when you are playing Tamer in these larger situations, it is actually really hard as a Tamer, just because you are not designed to play in these larger scenarios. So what you have to do as a Tamer is you actually have to create opportunities for yourself to be in those 1v1 situations. If you try to play a tamer in large scale and try to play like you are not a tamer, it is not going to work out for you. Your class just simply isn't designed to fight with the main ball or to fight with like a lot of people. So let's say if you look at a ninja, right? Ninjas and tamers, they're skirmishers. They kind of fulfill kind of a similar role. Same with Lan. You see, if you watch clips, ninjas and Lan, they can kind of go into a ball of people. They can do big CCs, big kills, and then get out safely. If you try to do that as a tamer, um, first of all, your damage is forward guard, and your forward guard breaks super easily. And so if you try to go in, you do a big CC, you do a forward guard, someone's just gonna tap you, and then your forward guard is gonna break, and then you're gonna die. And then you also, if you manage to get a big CC, you're gonna do your damage, and you're actually gonna notice that half of your damage is not gonna land because your AoE is just simply not big enough. So that's why a tamer just simply doesn't work if you try to fight in the main ball. So what you can do as a tamer when you fight in these larger situations is that you have to create opportunities for you to fight in smaller fights. So for example, you go around and you look for people that are lost or people that are out of position, and so you fight them in 1v1s. Or what you do is you purposely make yourself low in HP, and then you make them chase you, and then you quickly turn around and kill them because you are a tamer. And once you get into that situation where you are in a 1v1, most likely you will just win just because you're a tamer, and tamer are just super good at 1v1. So if you really want to make tamer work in large scale, don't actually play it in large scale. Play it in such a way that you create small scale opportunities for yourself, and that's how you can make tamer work in large scale. Okay, next, I'm going to talk about Tamer in Node Wars and try to give you guys examples of the different kind of roles that you guys will be playing. So me personally, I play the flex role, and because of that, I don't have footage or have clips of me playing defense or cannon, so I can't really show you guys what it would look like, but I can kind of describe it to you, and hopefully it gives you an understanding of what you can expect. So there's primarily four roles in Node Wars. There's going to be cannon, defense, main ball, and then flex. So first, I'm going to talk about tamer as a cannon. Um, when you are a cannoneer as a tamer, you can get to places that most people cannot get to, and because of that, tamer is actually super popular as a cannoneer. Because of that, tamer has a thing called tamer soaring arts. And if you practice tamer soaring arts, you can get to places that are super hard to get to, and you can place the cannon like on really tall places, which makes it really hard for the enemy people to push you. Um, so that's why tamer is super popular as a cannoneer. Also, when you play cannon as a tamer, you can have your dog out at the same time while shooting the cannon. So that means that if somebody attacks you, your dog will actually kind of protect you, and sometimes maybe even CC the enemy when they do attack you, which gives you an opportunity to get off the cannon and counter attack. Next, the next most likely role for you to play as a tamer is you can play defense. If you play defense as a tamer, your job is to protect your fort and to stay at base and kind of just protect the fort from enemies that are going to attack it. Most likely, you will be put into Flame Tower or into the Hawacha when you play defense as a tamer, and this is kind of similar to the reason why you get put into Cannon, because you can have your dog out at the same time while you shoot the cannon. That means that if enemy are attacking, you can have your dog out, and then you can shoot the flame tower, and then your dog will also attack at the same time. So it's kind of like having two person, well, just having one person kind of. So it's kind of like that. Um, After that, the next likely role that you will get put into after defense is going to get put into flex. If you get put into flex as a tamer, You basically just do whatever Flex wants you to do. Sometimes you'll go around and you kill enemy flags, kill enemy cannons. Sometimes you might go to enemy base and stop the enemy people from rebuilding or from repairing their structures. So just know that if you do play as Flex as a Tamer, a lot of times you will find that it's a little bit hard for you to stop rebuilds just because your class isn't designed to stop rebuilds. Um, because whenever you go in and you attack to kind of stop the rebuilds, your attacks are forward guard, and enemies will just attack you from the back, and you can't position yourself in such a way that you are attacking attack the rebuilds without having your back exposed. So it is a little bit harder when you try to stop enemy rebuilds, but if you are good, you can kind of make it work. But yeah, that's kind of how you will play Tamer in the flex role. Just basically do whatever flex wants you to do. After that, there is going to be the main ball role for Tamer. And honestly, in my opinion, if you get put into the main ball role, you should ask to be put into a different role because Tamer has no place as a main ball role. And this is because Tamer, like I said earlier, just doesn't the kit just simply isn't designed to work in main ball. But if you do for whatever reason get put into main ball, or if you just really want to play with main ball, what you can do is that instead of playing within the group of main ball itself, you want to play on the outside of main ball, and your job is to basically stop um, enemy flankers from attacking your main ball. So let's say you are moving with your main ball, you want to move kind of on the outside, and if you see like a ninja or lan coming in, it is your job to stop the ninja or the lan before they can bomb your ball and stop your ball from moving forward. But yeah, that's kind of like how you would play Tamer in Node Wars. Okay, next I'm gonna give you guys a couple of clips of me in large scale, such as Node Wars, and I'm gonna do a breakdown of my thought process about why I do things a certain way, and hopefully you guys can learn from what I've shown in my thought process, and maybe you guys can implement it when you guys play Tamer in these large scale situation as well. Okay, this next clip here that I am gonna show you guys, it demonstrates a little bit about having good positioning as a tamer. I believe in this clip I was in flex and I was going out to look for the enemy flag, but since it's the desert, I actually got lost, so I'm just following my guild members around. So in this clip, I'm following them, and then I noticed that in the front of me they are actually fighting somebody. Um, so I go in and I see that my one of my teammates actually got CC'd by I believe a mystic, and so what I do is I go in, I try to peel for her, and I get that grab, and I actually do CC the mystic on the ground. But then I also see that in front of me there is a wizard, and so instead of following up on that CC that I just got on that mystic, right? I see that the wizard is either gonna heal or it's either gonna throw a CC down to stop all of us. And I noticed that none of my teammates are actually paying attention to that wizard. So I, instead of focusing on that mystic, ignore the mystic, and I actually go towards that wizard, and I actually do manage to get a SWAT CC, and I stop his heals, or I don't know if he was gonna do a heal next or do a CC next, but I do manage to stop him. And then I was about to follow up on that wizard, but then I noticed that I was getting shot from behind, and so I sidestep to the front of the wizard and do a forward guard skill because I was getting shot from behind from an archer. And so I go and I manage to actually CC the wizard. But then I noticed that if I just keep hitting the wizard, that archer is just gonna keep hitting my teammates, and so I stop hitting the archer because I know that my teammates are gonna follow up on that wizard. So instead, what I do is I go towards the back and I try to CC that archer to kind of peel for my team. And so I managed to go and I managed to put pressure on that archer and make him back off. And so I was able to make him run away. And I was about to chase him with Cloud Ride, but then I noticed that the wizard teleported right in front of me. So instead of following up with Cloud Ride, I actually stopped my Cloud Ride and I landed. And I actually just did a grab on the wizard, and I managed to get him to V here. The archer could have peeled for the wizard, and I think it would have worked. But instead, the archer decided to run away, and I just got a little bit greedy here, and so I just basically chased the archer down and tried to kill him. But yeah, that's a little bit showcasing how to have good positioning as a tamer, to have good awareness to know when you can hit your opponent and when you should peel for your team. So you notice I'm at my base, and the enemy's flex team is just coming to my fort, and I noticed that they keep coming a lot for some reason. So I am going out to look for a flag. Nobody's with me, and I actually do find the enemy team that is trying to place a flag down, and I do kill them, and so I do stop them from placing that flag down, and I do save my team or my guild a lot of trouble of them having that the enemy flag near us, which actually did help stop the momentum of the enemy ball, the enemy flex members a little bit. Okay, in this next clip here that I'm going to show you guys, it's going to demonstrate a little bit about having map awareness or situational awareness when you play Tamer, because it is super important as Tamer to have situational awareness. So this clip, I'm going to show it to you guys. So in this clip, I'm just fighting at my base. There are a lot of sorks, and I'm just trying to see whatever I can do. And I noticed that it's not really working out. I'm trying to throw all these protected damage, all these CCs, and they're just not working out. So what I do is I actually leave a little bit and go to the side, and try to get a view from the outside perspective. And I see that this Swerk here is about to throw a Dream of Doom, and I actually go in for that grab, and then I prevent the Swerk from throwing that Dream of Doom grab, which saves my team from getting big CC. And yeah, so if you have map awareness or situational awareness, it does help a lot as you when you play Tamer. So sometimes it's good to just disengage from the fight and try to reassess from a different angle, and it does help you quite a bit. Okay, in this next clip here, it's gonna demonstrate a little bit about how I play aggressively as a tamer when it comes to larger fights. So in this clip here, you see I'm in RBF, and I am just running around looking for any kind of opportunity, and I see that this guy is out of position. So I go in for that grab, manage to get it, and then with the help of my teammates, I manage to secure that kill. And then I group up with my teammates, and I see this to the front of me. The enemy boss about to push in, so I do a forward guard attack, but it's a Nova, so she manages to dash right through my forward guard, but I manage to iframe it and return around and do a quick kill. And then I go from the side to do a flank, and I see that the enemy wall is not paying attention, so I do howling to get that stiff, and I go in and I manage to get a grab, and then manage to get another kill. And so that kind of demonstrates a little bit on how to play aggressively as a tamer. Just look for those opportunities where you can shine and do your CCs and your damage. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys my overall opinion on Tamer and tell you guys what state she is in the game, according to what I've seen, or just basically my opinion at this point. So, in my opinion, I'm gonna start with PVE first. Currently, as of this guide, Tamer Awakening, her grind or her PVE is mid of the pack. It's not super bad, but it's also not super good. It could be a lot better, and also could be a lot worse, basically. If you really want to PvE as Tamer, I really recommend that you do Succession, but I know that a lot of people, they just want to play in PvE as Awakening Tamer and just stick to Awakening Tamer, and that is totally okay. Just know that you won't be making as much money or making as much silver that you could possibly make as a Succession Tamer. But if you really just like Awakening Tamer PvE, just know that you are not griefing yourself as hard as you used to be. It used to be a lot worse, so yeah, that is I guess a plus or two that we work for Awakening Tamer, is that her PvE did get better. Okay, next, in terms of 1v1, the state of Tamer in the game, she isn't as strong as she used to be, and this is because of several reasons. First of all, she can't spam her roaring or her void CC anymore. So basically, that the void CC of the healing CC from void only triggers whenever the skill is off cooldown. So if you try to use it when it's on cooldown, you won't get the CC anymore. The old Tamer, you can always just spam it, and you can always just get the CC, but now you can't do that anymore, which makes her a little bit more difficult in the 1v1s, because you can't just spam it and rely on that. Another thing is that the grabs did get nerfed. Because of the grab nerf, you have to aim a lot more carefully if you want to land your grab, which makes it a lot harder as a tamer to kind of play around that. Another thing is that a lot of classes got big damage buffs, and so instead of having to CC you to kill you, they will actually just kill you while you are standing up. And Tamer is one of those classes where sometimes she has to linger super armor to recover her stamina, and to recover her resources. And while you are just lingering super armor, you will just get blown up while you stand up, while you're basically standing up. Another thing is that tree climb did get nerfed. Um, because you can't linger the iframe on tree climb as long as you used to. a lot of things that you could do before. As you guys saw during my clips, sometimes I would linger tree climb, but now you can't really linger tree climb as long as you could. So those are some of the nerfs that makes Tamer a little bit less strong in 1v1s, but also know that in no way is Tamer bad at 1v1. Tamer is still arguably one of the best class if you just want to 1v1. She still has her grab, even though her grab did get the size of the grab did get nerfed, she still has one of the fastest grab in the game. The grab is now super armor if you land it successfully. Her pet, even though Void Lightning did get nerfed, Void Lightning or Roaring and Surging Height now can be triggered at range, so you can basically try to pressure your opponent from two directions, from the front and from the side, if you can control your dog properly. So yeah, Tamer, even though her 1-1 did get worse, it's still not bad. So yeah, that's basically my opinion of where Tamer is in terms of 1v1. Um, Still one of the best, but just not as good as he used to be. Okay, next I'm gonna talk about Tamer in terms of large scale. So basically, the state of Tamer in large scale. In my opinion, the state of Tamer, as of this guide, making this guide, the state of Tamer in large scale is really really bad. And this is not because Tamer, after the rework got nerfed. And when it comes to large scale, in my opinion, Tamer did actually get large scale buffs. I know a lot of people will disagree and say that Tamer got large scale nerfs, and honestly, she did get some large scale nerfs, such as Street Climb no longer having that super long linger, or you can no longer linger cloud stomping to kind of recover stamina. You basically have to use stamina every time you use it. But despite all the nerfs, there are a lot of buffs, in my opinion, that makes it a lot better in large scale. For example, some of her AoEs got bigger. This is super helpful, especially when it comes to large scale. Um, Even though tree climb did get nerfed, you can use WW into tree climb now, and it basically has the same iframe duration as the old tree climb. Um, Cloud Ride, even though you can no longer just use Cloud Ride to recover stamina, Cloud Ride is now gapless. So from the time that you go up to the time that you land, basically super armor the whole time. You can Cloud Ride without that huge risk of doing the fall animation, because they did fix the fall animation a little bit, so that also helps a lot. Yeah, basically, I just been naming a lot of buffs, and so you might be thinking, if they got all these large scale buffs, why is it bad in large scale? It's because every other class just got way better large scale buffs. Honestly, even though Tamer did get these buffs, it's not enough considering the state of the game right now. Everybody just does so much damage that the current meta of the game right now is that you kill people while they are standing up. You don't even have to CC them. For example, if you look up at montages and clips, you're just gonna see Musos run through entire packs of people, and all they do is they just spin the fiery attacks, and they don't even CC you, and you're just gonna die. Same with, let's say, like rangers and archers, or they're just gonna shoot you from super far away, and they do so much damage. And Tamer is just one of those classes where she just doesn't do a lot of damage if she doesn't CC people. She's just not designed to do super armor trading, super armor damage trading. So it's super hard for Tamer to get right now, because she has to get that CC first before she can do her combo, before she can do any kind of big damage. And because her skills are 4 guard skill, everybody does so much damage that her 4 guard actually breaks even faster now. And her S block also got nerfed because of the S block nerf, so she can't even S block properly. Um, so it makes Tamer really hard to play in large scale. Not because Tamer itself got nerfed, but because everybody else just got super big damage buff, and Tamer just can't keep up. You can still make Tamer work just by kind of making people chase you, so that they get put into those 1v1 situation, and you can try to maybe punish them for that. But overall, it's gonna be really hard to make Tamer work in large scale. And if you try to, hopefully you don't get frustrated, and you can make it work, and you can enjoy your time as a Tamer. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the guide. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch the guide that I have made for Tamer. I know it's super long, and because of that, I try to be as complete as I could, and I try to cover as much as I could about Tamer in this guide. But I know that Tamer is one of those classes where to really master it, it is complicated and it is complex. So I definitely missed a lot of stuff that even though I try to cover as much as I can, I know I did miss a lot of stuff. So if you guys have more questions or have things that you want me to clarify, you guys can always leave it in a comment down below, and I'll try to get back to it. I'm also gonna put other Tamer resources in the video description, just because I know I missed a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna put links to the Tamer Discord, links to other Tamer streamers and other Tamer YouTubers that have guides, and you guys can also check them out. And hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two from them as well, because Tamer is a complicated class, and sometimes you have to look at different resources, a lot of different resources to get the full potential of Tamer. So hopefully you guys can check those other resources out as well, and learn from it as well. And I also know that a lot of tamers play tamers differently, so they might see this guide and they might question a lot of what I'm saying, or a lot of my play style, and that is totally okay. Just because tamer is one of those classes where everybody kind of plays it their own little different way, so totally okay if other tamers don't agree with everything that I say here. But yeah, overall, thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys was able to learn some things.